Welcome to Seat Time, where we drink beer and talk about all the happenings with motorcycles. Alright, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Seat Time. Brian Pierce here. I've got two sexy, glistening young men next to me. They are younger than me, but they're of age, so it's completely legal and of consent. Cameron Ishmael on this side, and of course, Cody Beck on this one. Let's start with this one. Actually, how old are you, Cameron?
21.
21.
22.
22, so he's actually older. That's okay. He's got a better number. It's 1. Number 1. So you...
Fair enough.
Fair enough, yeah. Well, you had to go disappear and do all kinds of stuff overseas.
That's right.
Yeah?
College.
Oh, yeah, no, whatever. Get your degree. That's fine. So, you're Cameron Ishmael. You're from Texas. You've been racing dirt bikes. 2011 Toro champion. 2011 TCCRA champion.
Yes,
Does that how
sir.
the numbers work out?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're pretty awesome. So we're glad to have these guys on the show talk about stuff. Cody Beck, you know, he's like an ex-pro doing the whole college thing, engineer. You know, he's got a job. That's good. He's got a job, but I mean, come on, engineer. He's gonna be paying all of our bills one day, so that'll be good. But what's going on now? You're in the heavy A class, right, with
Yeah,
Toro?
heavy A.
Yeah, you're winning that.
Yeah, just trying to get back into things, and it's pretty good. Just trying to get back with those guys.
Yeah, I think you'll be okay. Are you gonna do the pro class for any of the TCCRA or Torn or local stuff?
That's the plan. Just well,
you're like, I don't like money. Piss it away.
well, I want to focus on finishing school, of course. You know, this is my last semester, so
If you will.
yeah,
You need to graduate, man.
I need to be done.
Yes. Well, you just got your pro license, or no, your pilot's license. Private pilot license? That's pretty cool. So that's good for him. All right. You're at UPS, working still?
Yeah.
All right. Bigger news, though. You have gone back and forth with this Cowie KTM thing. People have no idea what's going on. So give us the official breakdown. What happened? What is this? Like,
it really came down to I didn't have the time, and we didn't think about it. We're just like, oh, we're just gonna do it. You know, I'd been riding Cole's bike. I was like, I like it, and it was.
Talk
really,
about Cole Kirkpatrick. He's not the worst guy ever, right?
No.
Right.
Very fun to ride with. You can learn a lot, and so I was like, all right, let's just go get him. And you know, at Callisburg, you know, it was good. I felt good. But Bonita, we were really struggling getting the bike set up. You know, I was like, man, I couldn't feel comfortable. So Dad's like, you know, go get your 450. So I went, took the for sale sign off, borrowed some gas, and I went and did a lap. And I was like, man, you know, I'm at home. Like, first 3 corners, I was like, you know, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And so we realized we'd made a mistake. Like, you know, realistically, we should have waited till summer. You know, I'd have time to test on the bikes. But right now, you know, next weekend, Torn starts. And then the last Toro, I was like, I don't have time to not have my mind made up. So I'm just going to go with what I know. And it's Kawasaki.
All right. Well, you guys can say brought some of their T-shirts. Both of these guys are sponsored by was it Kawasaki or is it Honda Kawasaki?
Honda Kawasaki.
Yes. We got to say it right here on the show because apparently
Right.
it's official. Well, yeah. It's been kind of interesting because of the fact that you made that switch so quickly. You ride 450 as well.
Yep.
I bet it's a big boy. But you know, you kind of went back from the you had the 250 SX and then 300 XC on the 2 strokes. Okay. Do you think that like there was any part of your decision that because of the fact that Bonita, I mean, that's a 450 open bike track that maybe that's going to play into some of your.
I mean, that was, you know, strictly a 450 track, but I mean the 2-stroke by far, you know, it is better in the woods, but I would say 85% of the time the 450 works best for me.
Right.
You know, there's those few tracks like Brian's Stories where, you know, kind of wish I had a 2-stroke, but then you get out in the grass track, you know, I can kind of make up for what I'm losing in the woods, so it works.
And you don't really lose much in the woods, do you? You just rock. You just Mike Lafferty it.
Yeah.
Just take it down.
Take the shoulders to the
What do you think?
trees. Looks like you've been doing it.
Yeah, I know.
Dave Lucas style. Just
Don't mess with me. I'm a little quirky guy. Or wiry quirky. I might be quirky too. I don't really know. Well, apparently I forgot to turn the sleep off on this because all my notes has disappeared. But I found them again. So, we appreciate you guys being... Yeah, I know. Thanks, buddy. I'm glad you brought yours. We appreciate these guys being on the show. It is... I've enjoyed doing Seat Time, being able to talk with all the local riders, hear all the stuff that's going on. So to be able to get their on-hand knowledge, and then, of course, for one of these guys to at least share a beverage of the adult kind. He's got his little pint full of water which is cool. You know, that's what he has. It's good to go.
Thanks for having us.
Hey, thanks for coming, buddy.
Finally got off work.
Yeah, he just probably called in sick. The Supercross this past weekend happened in Oakland. One of the big things coming into that race was the fact that we had the big injury between Trey Canard and Ryan Morais. Obviously, that was very devastating. Do you think that you would have known how to deal with a situation like that at all?
Just racing.
Yeah?
I mean, I wouldn't have done any different, so.
Yeah, I mean, you got a tough block stuck on your bike, you kind of don't make the triple, and then...
He couldn't have done it any better. I mean, you're not going to go for the triple when you see that right there. So, I mean, he did what he could do. He doubled. You just don't expect people to jump it behind you, but, I mean, you can't see behind you, so he really had no control over that situation.
Yeah, it's definitely tough. We've seen a lot of people follow all the Twitter updates and Facebook and all the other stuff of, like, Trey Canard and Ryan Morais. They're both doing a lot better. They're doing way better than I think a lot of people would have expected. The fact that Trey Canard, there's pictures of him up, walking, or standing with a back brace, and then Ryan Morais already has his jaw wired shut. I think that's pretty promising, considering what it could be, because honestly, if somebody would have died in that wreck, that's almost what people would have expected. I mean, it was pretty horrendous.
At least the AMA is taking action, and they're starting to strap the covers down and stuff.
Yeah, that would.
I don't know. There's some debate on what would work there.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know.
Maybe just make them hay bales again and stop trying to make so much money off of advertising. But
right,
you know, whatever.
Old school.
So, thoughts on this past weekend's in Oakland Supercross track? What did you think? Or if you have thoughts on any of the past Supercross tracks.
I thought the track was awesome.
You thought the track was awesome?
It looked fun.
Yeah. I thought it was interesting how they had to add a little 6 to 7 second jig that they didn't plan on because of the fact that the track wound up turning in like so stupid fast. But it seemed kind of hard packed and was starting to wear out on some of the edges, but would you have ridden it?
No, in my opinion, it was by far the best Supercross track. Because the others, I mean, they've all been tight, but that one at least, there were different rhythms, you know, where Stewart and Villapoto could jump into the corners, and that's where they were squaring people up.
Yeah.
The other ones, everyone was pretty much having to do the same line, and, you know, it was really hard to pass.
Yeah, I agree that this one did seem to be, you know, the more fun. I'm not a Supercross rider, nor do I think I would ever jump anything that's bigger than a bus. But it did look like it would have been the more fun, you know, kind of the best track so far.
Really technical. The ruts just, I mean...
Yeah, they got a little deep. Yeah, you could see in some of the GoPros that they had floating around that they were pretty serious stuff.
Serious. Finally, a real whoop section, too.
They did, yeah.
More than 6, you know?
Yeah, because at the last one before the over and under, there literally was, 5 or 6?
Yeah,
and they
like
took a right-hand
turn. Right. And that was it.
What do you... I think you mentioned it, too, like the fact that they actually had, like, the table double sections that they had, table on, table off and stuff. Where you could actually like take different lines.
Yeah, that was
before
cool watching people go
one
inside.
line
Yeah,
that you couldn't do that.
Right.
So
and they're close to the same speed. So
yeah, I like seeing that when they're like jumping past each other. It's sweet.
We're lucky to have good racing right now.
Yes, we are. There's gonna be some good racing all. So Stewart got his first win this past weekend in Oakland. So I probably said Oakland like quite a few times. He's not gay, nor is he anywhere near the gay part of Texas. It's Oakland, California. There might be things that go on in California that are gay, but it's ridiculous. So we've had almost every manufacturer now on the podium. Honda has not been, but that's probably because of Trey Canard and his injuries and just not been able to
read.
Thanks, guys.
Reed won one.
I'm not see.
Might not be factory Honda, but
okay. Well, we'll call it.
He's got factory support.
He's got factory support. I was just gonna be like, just wanted to like not call out Reed, but there you go. You guys can do that for me. So, Stewart, anybody?
VP all the way.
Yeah. Well, come on.
Stewart lost me when he left Kawasaki in 07 or after 07.
Yeah. Well, he lost me after he couldn't keep his bike up anymore. So, what do you think?
I don't know, man. I'm just all about the racing. It's awesome.
It's been pretty good. I think that now that because I'm an Orange fanboy, I really want Ryan Dungey to do.
Yeah.
I just want him to do it for DeCoster and KTM and all that stuff. But I don't know, man. It could be Reed. It could be the Ginger Ninja. It could be Dungey. And if Stewart actually like continues to ride like he did this past weekend, I think he could wind up taking some points and doing a pretty good job.
He seems so conservative now. That's like the biggest difference you see him. Like if someone almost takes him out, the old Stewart would have went and just parked him in the next corner. Like he'll wait a lap and then he'll pass Tedesco. Like at round 2, I think they were going back and forth. I expected him to clean them both out and be done.
Yeah. Learn from his mistakes in the past. He was I don't know. He was quick to make decisions, but he was on the ground a lot. So
I don't know. It's because it seems that he's been having a lot of issues with the bike. I think with all of his turning issues, where he kind of tucks in.
The Pirelli Dunlops.
I mean, hey, we can call that a situation if you want to, because it is. And they even apologized for that.
No, they didn't. Even Jeremy Albright was
we made a mistake. Whoops, sorry. So, obviously, there's lots of racing going on in the 450s class. Of course, with the lights guys, we can't leave out the fact that Tomac is doing an amazing job. Wilson hasn't had all the best of luck, but he's still holding on second in points. Zach Osborne, who's come over from MotoGP, doing really good. Don't know if they're going to keep him over here or not, or if he has contracted to be in Europe. But then Marvin Musquin, who is European and over here, is now in 4th place with points, even though he had such a poor performance last weekend with a bad wreck. So Tomac, I think that's awesome. I loved his father. Back when the mountain bike days, when he still rode mountain. I know, it's like, woo!
There's videos.
So, Tomac, he will eat your lunch while you're trying to eat it and then punch you. It's never a good time.
Mean guy. Huh? That's a mean guy.
Yeah, and just now he's got a boy that's on a dirt bike opposed to just a mountain bike. So, I mean, it's pretty serious stuff. Right, Jordan?
That's what I thought, yeah.
See? Yeah. It's good to have professional people around every now and again. So, another thing that happened is we had the first round 1, which is typically what happens when it's the first one. It's round 1 of the National Enduro Series in Sumter, South Carolina. So our buddy Cole Kirkpatrick, we've talked about from Toro, is over there, and quite a few of the other national caliper guys. They even pulled in quite a few GNCC riders. So the National Enduro Series does seem to be growing.
Getting big.
Yes. And they had a winner that they've never really seen before on top. The Lights GNCC winner, Stewart Baylor Jr., won the National Enduro this past weekend. And he did so, I think, about 40 seconds over Lafferty. 40 seconds-ish. That's pretty impressive considering how young he is. And then you've got Lafferty. Yeah, and then you've got Lafferty, who's older than me. So, I mean...
Lafferty's a man.
Yeah, and then, of course, Mullins, who had... what it sounds like a lot of engine trouble. Second test section kicked off his oil filter cover. So oil was spilling all over himself. They changed out his engine. Then he wound up frying his clutch, so he didn't have a clutch for the last section. So, I mean...
Still got third.
That's awesome. And I think Cole was talking to him, asking him, what he thought about the fact that he's got so much more competition now. And it's like, well, I think... And Cole told him, I think you just pissed a bunch of people off when you came in here and kicked everybody's ass. So they're trying harder now and they want it back. So, I mean, if you look at Lafferty, I mean, that guy's got, I think, 7, National Enduro wins.
At least.
Yeah, minimum. So, a lot of racing. Bobbitt didn't have the best of luck. He is the defending champion. He was trying to come back. Unfortunately, his wrists seem to still be bugging him. But, he's pretty hard on himself, so he wants to do the best he can. But hopefully that comes back quick. Brad Bakken on his new... YZ250F on the off-road Viking Range Yamaha, all kinds of Obermeyer. I don't know. That's like the longest team name in the history of ever. So
I like how you looked at me like I was gonna make sure you were saying it all right.
I mean, I think I just got them all in. I know they're not in the right order. I just got them all in there, so it's whatever at that point. But very good job for that guy because he did come back from injury, and obviously he has been practicing making sure that stuff happens. So round 2. Gonna be coming up. Let's see what happens next. You think Lafferty's gonna get it?
I think Mullins.
Yeah, I know. Man, if he did all that and still came in with third.
Last year he won a bunch of them. I was just surprised because I was like, he's always GNCCs, and then, as you said, they're slowly starting to come to the Nationals. More of them.
They're getting like little tiny pay raises. I think they're like they're like, I get gas for a week if I go to this National Enduro. That's cool. Awesome. So my broken body was actually out this past weekend at round 2 of the TSEC series in Fluvanna, Texas. This is an old property that used to be run kind of by the Lubbock Trail Riders. They had the last time they used it was 2009 for the National Enduro that Cole Kirkpatrick won. Yeah. Maybe,
way to go, Cole.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. He's all right.
That's pretty awesome.
But they used Chuck Norris, which is one of the really cool downhill sections out there, and it is that awesome. It will kick your ass, and that's actually part of what gave me this nice little war wound here. I had a really good run going. I was having fun for the first 3 sections. It's very fast, but shaly out there. It's really weird. It's not as dusty West Texas as you would think. It's kind of got some nice rock to it. So it gets technical. It's fun in the creek beds. You get in there, 4th, 5th gear. Have a good time. I wound up racking my brains out on the ground a couple times. Finished nowhere near where I would have liked, but at the same time, I'm still here drinking beer with these fine gentlemen. That's not the worst place to be. Worst place that you could be is probably not on flyracing.com. That is a website where you can go ahead and get awesome gear, all kinds of fun casual wear. You can get, even if you're like, hey, you know what? My backpack needs to look badass. Go to flyracing.com. They've got all kinds of cool stuff that's going to make guys like me, if you look worse than me, that's okay. If you look better than me, go you. But you can always look that much more better if you're wearing Fly. I think that's half the way to do it. I don't know. I mean, I know you guys have other sponsors, and that's part of our show sponsors, so you guys just keep your mouth shut. Yep. So, what's going to be coming up, guys? I think round 6 this weekend is going to be fun. Now, this is a little awkward, but we're going to kind of go back and forth. I'm going to try to get his opinion first on the TCCRA Poolville race from this past year. Give me some of your thoughts on the track then, so we know what to kind of expect for this weekend. Things you like, maybe you didn't like, that maybe if they're listening, they could change now before they make the track.
I really liked it because it had a bit of everything. You take off and it's kind of just grass track, but then you jump in.
That just happened.
Nice. You jump in a few miles and then it's like all of a sudden, there's rocks that come out of nowhere, and elevation, you just like drop down to this big old valley, and you're just kind of going up and down, up and down. And then you're back into the woods, and then all of a sudden, like, it drops off, and you're in a dried up creek bed. And then half a mile later, we went through a creek that was, almost up to your gas tank.
Yeah.
Because it had a hole, like, it'd be like rock, 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 mud, rock, rock, rock.
Yeah, I rode that in the night race with just the headlight, so
yeah.
That was... Mm-hmm.
And I think it'll be really awesome, because I was like, man, that was a pretty technical TCCRA. A lot of people were getting, pissed off, but it was hot. I was like, okay, this will be a sick Toro track. And, it was summer, they had a swimming hole too, so it was real good for the spectators, because you can get all the way around the property. So it'll be really good to watch. I forgot
that they had that swimming hole. Yeah, I was running around in my little Lycra shorts, because that's all I had. And I was like, I don't want to get out. It's awkward. But... do what you can. Okay, so obviously you're going to be looking forward to it. Have you ridden out of Poolville?
Never been there.
Never been there. Okay. I kind of have to say that I completely don't agree with anything he said. I've been there. You have anything good to say?
You know more than me.
Yeah, I've been there. And it was a lot of fun. I got to do the night race I was talking about, where I got to ride Brian Story's little beater bike that he had with the headlight on it, and with them. That was fun. And... it's really technical. It's badass. They got all kinds of fun, crazy stuff. And then they've got the neat, like, open part where you can go around the pond. I mean, you just fucking...
oh, yeah, and you could actually hydroplane.
Yeah, I know.
That's where me and Caleb were going at it.
So, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And I agree, Toro tracks, always sicker, always a little bit longer. I think that I did hear that they're going to try to make sure they take out the little river... creek thing.
Yeah, because with that rain, I'm sure it's deep.
And we were supposed to go out and do we, as in myself, were supposed to go out and do the recon on Friday, but because of all the rain that we had here in Texas, I couldn't make it out. It was essentially a swamp. So we know now we've talked to the property owner and the promoter, and everything's good to go. It's dried up really, really well. They're working on the track. They do have to cut out a couple different things, obviously, because of the bad weather. But it's going to be a lot of fun. We look forward to it. Poolville, for those of you who have absolutely no idea where it is or why you would want to go there, northwest of Fort Worth. Not the way I'm pointing if you're looking at a map, because that would make no sense. That's where you want to go. It's probably about an hour and a half from my house in Plano. Probably about an hour and a half from your house in Plano, too.
Probably.
Okay, good. So I think it's going to be fun. Who do you think is going to win the pro class?
Oh. I don't know. Cameron says it's more technical.
Yeah?
So I don't know.
I mean, I know...
we'll have to see if the...
yeah, you're going to ride back with him, so that's part of it.
I don't know. I mean... probably have to say Cole, just because he's won the technical races so far. But, I mean, Cameron's had lap times that were definitely comparable to Cole's. So.
Yeah, comparable and faster, too.
Yeah,
so, I mean,
you just never know.
Yeah. I think if we were to play the card, obviously Cole has technical speed that... I think people would say that Cole has more technical speed than Cameron. But Cameron is not a bad rider, and also Cameron is going to be coming off of the fact that he has a lot of mental confidence of kicking a lot of butt at the Bonita Toro on his Kawasaki. And I think that, in fairness, because of the fact that you're sitting right next to me, I think it's going to be a damn good race, and I want to see you guys battle it out. I hope you guys pass each other a bunch of times, and then I quit racing because of the fact that I'm like, screw this is where it's at. So that's what I want to go down. I think it's totally possible, and I want to see you guys have a good battle. So, because you could still get him if you got your next 2 rounds.
No, yeah, it's
the math is
3
still
points
there.
down, it's gonna be close. But either way, I just enjoy racing with him. So I don't first or second.
Yeah, following his dust for a little bit isn't the worst thing ever.
No.
Yeah, but you'd rather have him follow yours.
Yeah.
Boom. That's what's happening. Of course, there's another Supercross, and I'm kind of glad that they don't have a lot of breaks. We're getting a lot of racing. They only have 1 break in this whole series, so we're going to get Anaheim 2. I don't know if it's the breast cancer awareness race this time or not. It seems like they've kind of gone back and forth with when that happens throughout the year. But everybody has got wins right now. Obviously Suzuki, but, did they really exist? So, what's going to happen? You tell me. They just had a little animated track map out. It looks fun. It looks different than Anaheim, but Anaheim won. But
yeah,
I'm gonna have to go with RV.
Yeah,
I think he's the one.
Okay, you too.
He's a solid.
If he can just get it together, it's like every time he struggles with starts, but he'll lay down the fastest time.
It's that weird button.
He'll make a little mistake or something. The button. Not so sure.
He needs to stop using that hot start button or whatever it is. They call the throttle something funky. I don't know. They call it something weird.
It retards the motor to reduce wheel spin.
Yeah, no, I get it. I know what it does technically, but it's funny because the fact he's probably sitting on this it's like a KTM, right? It's like, no, the wrong button. It's not a magic button. Man, I don't know. It's a tough one because of the fact that I honestly wasn't expecting Stewart to do what he did this past weekend. I kind of thought that he was on his way out, but he showed that he can mentally wrap his mind around riding and not overriding himself. So he got the win. So obviously Stewart still has it, and he can keep it up. Reed rode really, really well, but Reed kind of got handed it to him by Stewart because Stewart took off and left him. Yeah. So you always have to wonder, does Reed get beat mentally? How easily does Reed get beat mentally nowadays?
Not easily.
So, okay, well, he mentally beat himself after that crash, but...
Yeah. Well,
I think anybody could... Yeah, the fact that he was walking was pretty good. I think Ryan Villapoto, even though I don't want to admit to it, is probably the guy who's going to win it. I just really want to see Dungey... He's consistent, he's fast, he knows how to make passes, but I feel like he does what you were talking about with Stewart in the past couple of where he waits 1 lap too long to make moves, to really...
conservative.
Just a little too conservative still. And I feel that when Dungey really starts to push it and tries to ride too aggressive, then he overdoes it and pulls a Stewart kind of thing. I hate to say it like
he doesn't have the raw speed of Stewart and Villapoto.
Yeah, he's kind of trained. He's a little DaCosta baby.
DaCosta baby.
Hey man, that's not the worst thing to be, right? Again, my notes shut down on me, but I'm gonna figure this thing out. Oh my god, it's got an on button. That's ridiculous. So this has been Seat Time, episode 47. I don't know if we even said that in the beginning, but in case you made it this far, it's episode 47. Again, we got Cody Beck on what is my right and Cameron Ishmael on my left. And speaking of Cameron Ishmael, I realized I did not say congrats to Cameron Kirkpatrick on his win at the T-Sec Enduro. I think that's one of his, if not first, very few of his T-Sec wins. Yeah. So, but... The guys on the couch are awesome. Appreciate the fact that they came in town. And I have to say to Cody Beck, thank you for enjoying a brew with me, my friend, because not too many people will do that. Well, Jordan will, but Jordan and I do that a lot. So I don't get too many.
It's like what I'm here for.
Right?
The guy you had last time drank a lot of beers with you.
Rick Ryder?
Rick Ryder? Man, that guy, there's a lot about that guy. That we could have a whole other show just about that guy. So, where you can find all the shenanigans that we talk about on a daily basis is seattime.co is the URL of our website. On Facebook, facebook.com/seattime. And of course, Twitter, because I love to tweet things about random stuff that I found out on the internet that might have to do with motorcycles, at seattime_co. Do you have any other socialness that you would like to share?
No.
No, don't talk to him. Yeah. He's going to go carb up.
Ride.
Yeah. You going to rocket?
Carb up. Rocket? Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
He's going to get in a rocket ship. We know what that's up.
Yeah.
What about you? Do you have any socialness?
Just Facebook.
You're on Facebook? Yeah, if you could spell his name, you can find him. I'm not going to help you out with it. All right. So to Rick Ryder, we say, thank you guys for being here. And remember, I always enjoy a pipe full of awesome. And if you're not going to have a beer, drink water.
There you go.
All right, man.
There's a whole another one. Peace. We're out.